Hey there, welcome to the Gyro Step Milwaukee Bucks podcast, probably a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and GSPN. Thankfully not proudly a Team USA podcast fully. We had Greece as well because the Americans did not have a great end, really last 4 games at the FIBA World Cup. We will talk about that, but I'm Ty Windisch, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Rohan Katti. Rohan, sir, happy Monday. How's it going?
Happy Monday indeed. It's a little bit of a rainy Monday here.
You know what that is actually? It's science. Those are Bears fans' tears that condensated and fell on us. Yeah.
I was about to transition into that, but I'm glad you did too. Yeah. I was gonna say we're probably not a Team USA pod, but we are proud to have a Green Bay Packers pod on our network. Because if you're a Packers fan, I don't know how you can't be absolutely beaming after, what was it, a 38-20 victory over the Chicago Bears?
Don't even cite the score. The Bears were embarrassingly running no huddle down 3 scores with 2 minutes left. Put in the backup quarterback and BFFR. Young people will know. BFFR. I don't want to get flagged so early to be an explicit. This pod shouldn't be that explicit, but I always hate when teams do that. Okay, you're not pulling the comeback. Take the L.
It was like Daniel Jones in the fourth quarter when you're down 40-0.
Listen, I didn't know if you would want to talk about that game, considering we're playing each other in fantasy this week, and the Cowboys defense made a pretty huge difference.
I will say matchup. I can't be that upset because in one of my other leagues, I'm winning because of the Cowboys defense.
There we go.
So I can't be too upset about it. But what we're trying to say is, if you want to hear a lot about the Packers' resounding victory over the Chicago Bears, make sure you check out Talk of the Tundra. It is GSPN's Green Bay Packers podcast hosted by Jordan Tresky and Newmock. So make sure you check that out. You can find a link to that at gspn.info if you're listening on your podcast platform of choice, or just search Talk of the Tundra. If you're watching on YouTube, good for you. It's already on the YouTube channel. Just click videos, click on the channel, click on videos. It should be there. So make sure you check that out if you want to hear those two just absolutely relish in the victory of the Green Bay Packers over the Bears. It was so fun. I'll say this. I wasn't expecting it to go that way.
Not that extreme.
I was nervous. Couldn't have gone better. Could not have gone better.
Yeah, I thought first half between some Jordan Love jitters and some of the play calls were bizarre. And the guys covered this a lot better than I'll be able to. But they settled in, and I think the defense really very impressive showing, especially the D-line. I mean, even without Rashawn Gary being able to play a whole lot as he recovers from that injury, they were getting a lot of pressure. Sometimes Fields got away, but most quarterbacks are not going to be able to evade those defensive linemen. So it's looking like it's going to be a fun year. The Bears fans, they're down bad. You truly do love to see it.
Yeah, we do. Sorry if we have any Bears fans, but listeners, but come on.
Yeah. You had to kind of know the deal. You've known the deal for a while. The deal is still the deal. On a related note, do you want to make a fun bet over our matchup, which really is just going to come down to if Breece Hall can score 25 points tonight?
Sure.
How about whoever wins gets to pick a Bucks player that the loser does a video breakdown on? Ooh. So assuming you somehow win, and I'll make it more lenient for you because you're down. So Breece Hall would need and he's questionable, I think. He would need a really big performance. So I don't know how you want to adjust it so it's more fair, but I will do a 10-minute video on Grayson Allen if you win that game, is what I'm saying.
How about a 5-minute video?
No, I'll do 10. You can do 5 or less.
Okay, let's do that.
That's our fairness built in, and I'll let you know the player. We can pick players, but that could be fun.
I agree. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, I need Breece Hall to
3 first half touchdowns for Breece Hall. I'm gonna be swearing. I'm gonna be very busy this week making this video, but little added intrigue. So make sure you're subscribed to the Gyro Step Podcast Network YouTube channel. You can also catch Tot there. Also, turn on the notification bell for lives because they did a live pod after the game last night. It was very fun. Watching Newmock and Jordan just bask in the victory. So really excited for those guys and the Packers season. Maybe one of us will be on that pod at some point. Who can say?
Maybe. Who can say?
All right, big Bucks news. Actually. Yeah, we could say. Well, Newmock and Jordan final say, but Big Bucks news. Really none. But the FIBA World Cup, Bobby Portis was playing in it. Thanasis was earlier, but he's been out for a while. The big Bucks adjacent news, we'll say, is Team USA going out pretty sad at the FIBA World Cup. We both liked the roster. I think we both, more so you, pointed out some issues that I think we can talk about. You were pretty prescient in saying they needed a true center. I pushed back. I think they did. I think what they may have needed even more, though, was just better perimeter defenders. Obviously, they had Mikal Bridges, who's a great perimeter defender. I think they needed more. I think that probably ended up being their biggest issue at this tournament when you look at the way guards played against Team USA, but to not bury the lead. So in the quarterfinals, USA lost to Germany 111-113. It was not semifinals. Well, I say quarter. Yeah, they beat Italy in the quarter, lost to Germany in the semis. Was not really as close as it looked. Dennis Schroeder hit a dagger to put it on up like 10 with like a minute left or something like that, and USA kind of rallied back. And then Canada, they beat in overtime or lose to in overtime in the bronze medal game, 127-118. Mikal Bridges made a hell of a play to send it to overtime.
But it didn't deserve to be an overtime game.
No, they were down 4 with like 2 seconds left. Mikal goes to the line.
They were down 4. They were down 4. You're right.
Goes to the free throw line, makes one, intentionally misses the second, gets the rebound, gets behind 3, drains the 3, and then SGA just puts Team USA down. So I'd say one of the takes that I had that I think aged well is the Americans have a deeper team, and that depth was pushed by a respiratory illness. Who can say which one? There's so many out there these days. We probably know which one. But still, the depth was better than Canada or Germany. But the top end play, especially on Canada, like SGA was better than anyone on Team USA. And Anthony Edwards had a great tournament. SGA is and was better. And I think that made a huge difference. He showed out. I think the Americans...
You know who was better than anyone else on Team USA in that game?
Who?
Dillon Brooks.
Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about that game or the Germany game first?
39 points.
This, honestly, this gave me bad Bucks flashbacks. Because they just kept doubling off of Dillon Brooks to send help to Shea's defender. And then like Dillon Brooks is just hitting a bunch of wide open threes off one pass. And it's just like, I got bad Raptors. And there's Canadians involved. I got bad Raptors flashbacks from that. Even sending doubles, Shea had 31 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds in the game. Shot 11 for 20 from the field, 8 for 8 from free throw. He was just transcendent. Dillon Brooks had 39, which is insane. He shot 7 for 8 from 3. RJ Barrett, 23 points. Like the Canadian primaries just all played really, really well. Team USA did not do that. I will say Bobby Portis played solid. Give the Bobby updates here. So against Canada in the bronze game, Team USA does not medal. They were 4th overall. Bobby had 14 points in 20 minutes, shot 5 for 6 from 2, 0 for 2 from deep, used to that one, but made all 4 of his free throws, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Was actually +6 in that game. So obviously single game plus minus is noisy, but Team USA played pretty well with Bobby. And then in less than 9 minutes in the semifinal against Germany, Bobby had 5 points, shot a perfect 2 for 2 from the field, 1 3, 1 2. 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 foul. A lot of steals in this tournament for Bobby. He's kind of active with the hands, but +0 in that game. So again, was not a huge issue for Team USA. Jalen Brunson against Germany -19, and against Canada -17. Again, single game plus minus very noisy. I do think you look at the guards Team USA brought, and really. Everyone on the perimeter outside of kind of Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges was a problem defensively. And Team's perimeter players, Franz Wagner, Dennis Schroeder, Shea, really took advantage of that Team USA weakness.
They really did. It's like you mentioned, like we thought this was a good roster. And to be clear, it is a very good roster. Like imagine if there was an NBA team with these players. That team would win the title, right?
Would they be world champs?
Yes.
Also, I mean, Serbia is clearly world champs now.
Yeah.
Their guy won the NBA, and then without him, they were second place in FIBA. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, you have Jovic and Bogdan, but
yeah, that's fine.
Who both balled out.
They made it to. I think, and we'll get back to Team USA. Just a real quick point.
I think they've lost also the last 5 finals in international competitions.
That's crazy. I do think both. I think everyone in the top 4 except USA should feel good about their tournament. Canada had never medaled.
No, on the men's side. They have
on the men's side. Yeah, sorry. On the men's side. They had never medaled, and they got third. Of course, disappointed not to do better, but they should have Jamal Murray next in the Olympics, so they could have a better team.
Andrew Wiggins, maybe.
Yeah, that would be it. They could use more forwards. Of course, Germany won it. Shout out to Germany. I think we just hate Dennis Schroeder. So I do. I know. I'm very
and
conflicted.
Mo Wagner. Are you kidding me?
It kind of clicked on me watching Germany USA. Like, I am German. This should probably feel good, but I hate Schroeder so much I don't enjoy it at all.
I cannot separate like anything away from my hate of Dennis Schroeder and Mo Wagner. I can't.
Andreas Obst. Obst is like such a hooper. It's crazy. That guy goes crazy.
He does go crazy.
Somebody should probably bring him over, man, if he wants to come over.
I will say I don't really hate Daniel Theis too much.
Dude, he was hooping against Canada.
That's what I'm saying. He was against the USA. He was
against USA, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did against Canada too, but like
he had 21 on USA. He was really, really playing great ball. It was
that. I think, like you were talking about, like perimeter defense, interior defense was also an issue. Can we retroactively take away Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defensive player of the year?
You know what I think we have to take away? He's not a center.
Yeah.
I think that's the issue. I think he's a great defender at the 4. I don't think he's a full-time center. And I think that showed. He was
playing like Hassan Whiteside out there.
Yeah.
And not good Hassan Whiteside.
No. Not those couple months. Yeah.
Yeah. That triple-double with blocks got him generational wealth.
Yeah, well, and also, like, he was like an automatic 85. I think he's still like an 81 on 2K. He's like a free agent, like a top 50 player in 2K every year because of something he did in 2016.
You know exactly what triple-double I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone does.
His Snapchat posting was even more legendary those days.
But he was playing like non-5 games of glory Hassan Whiteside out there. There was one play where it's just a simple empty corner pick and roll with Dennis Schroeder and Daniel Theis. And like, I think it was Josh Hart at the point of attack. It was either Josh Hart or Tyrese Halliburton. I can't remember which one. They try to go over the screen and Jaren Jackson just shows and just doesn't recover. Yeah. And it's just a wide open dunk off a simple pocket pass to Daniel Theis. And it's like, what are we doing here? What's happening? Like, you literally are the defensive player of the year in the NBA, and you don't know how to play a simple drop back pick and roll defense? Like, if you're going over the screen, why are you coming so aggressively?
I owe you several of those.
You do.
So I
deserve that. I deserve that. But like, it's such a weird place to, like, you know whose stock went down? Steve Kerr.
I was going to say, well, the most vaunted coaching staff ever. And I do feel like the Team USA, I mean, I know it's difficult. They don't play together often. They don't have time, yada, yada, yada. They had Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra. Who's the third NBA guy? Ty Lue and Mark Few it's like, I don't know, what is he doing there? I don't know what he's doing there.
He's Gonzaga's head coach.
I know that, but like,
no, I'm letting people know.
Is he the one? He's like, I identified Walter Kessler for the team, or Walker Kessler for the team.
Walter Kessler. That sounds more. That sounds like more of his name than his actual name. I know.
Walter Kessler sounds like he would play for Germany. To be honest,
he's there purely to get Chet Holmgren to play.
Yeah, he was like, we couldn't get Chet, but I got Walker Kessler instead. Whatever. I'm sure he's a great coach, college coach. It's just a weird, different skill set, like recruiting children. I don't know, but. I didn't think they schematically look great all the time, and with
Tyrese Halliburton sitting on the bench as they're bleeding points, and Jalen Brunson isn't really doing a whole lot for them. You got to get Tyrese in there.
Well, it was funny too because I mean Tyrese obviously is not helping a bunch defensively, but it did feel like he organized their offense so much. He did not have great games against Canada or Germany, in fairness, but it was kind of odd that they were quick to make that BI for Hart lineup change and then did not make another one until injuries for the illness forced, I think, Jaren out for the Canada game. And then they started Walker Kessler, who only played 16 minutes in that game. Should have been Bobby, whatever. But yeah, I thought they clearly could have used more adjusting in that starting five. I don't think Brunson had a good tournament or really belonged as the starting point guard, considering you had Ant and McHale out there who really don't need to be set up. They're such good scorers. They could have used Tyrese setting guys up better, is what I mean to say, versus just another guy who's really just going to ISO, which is what Jalen Brunson spent most of the tournament doing. And, of course, just a traffic cone defensively. They did, though, I do think just not having good enough defenders overall. I mean, that bench unit of Tyrese Halliburton and Austin Reeves, those guys were getting picked on. Like, the Dennis Schroeders of the world were tearing them up, and it really became a huge issue for Team USA. I mean, you look at the Germany game that knocked them out of a chance to compete for gold. Schroeder had 17, Franz Wagner had 21, Obst had 24. Again, Andreas Obst was the leading scorer for Germany. The USA could not shut him down at all. And then, as you mentioned, Tice on the interior did well too. He had 21. So defensive problems all over the place. And then, yeah, against Canada, they seemed like they had no answer. I mean, they gave up 127 to Canada, 113 to Germany. I mean, these are 40-minute games. These are not 48-minute games. Team USA should not be giving up this many points, but they continue to do so. They beat Italy pretty handily, which is great. But when they lost to Lithuania, they also gave up 110 points. Like, defensively, they just had huge problems. Maybe they should have brought another defensive-minded head coach. I feel like Spoelstra, Lou, and Kerr probably all lean offensively to a certain extent. I don't know if that's fair or not.
Spoelstra.
Yeah.
I'd say Spoelstra leans more defensive.
Well, they didn't. I don't know. Didn't lean into him enough.
To put Spoelstra in the big boy chair?
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be any changes before the Olympics. I would assume not.
I mean, probably not. But
well, we've got. Should we get into some news there?
Yeah, we can get into some news. So we do have some news. Thank you to Shams Charadia for
perfect timing on this.
Perfect timing right before we're about to hit record. He gives us some news about the Paris 2024 Olympics. I'll read his tweet here. Sources: LeBron James wants to represent Team USA at 2024 Paris Olympics, and a spearheading group of future Hall of Famers, including Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, prepared to commit. First of all, it was a weird sentence flow there for me, Shams. But
oh wow, can't believe that.
But if you actually look at the article, there's more guys in there. Like,
so here's the full paragraph. LeBron James has spoken to Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, and Draymond Green. They are all prepared to commit as well. Separately, Phoenix's Devin Booker, Portland's Damian Lillard, Sacramento's De'Aaron Fox, and Dallas's Kyrie Irving also have serious interest in committing, league sources said. Do we need Draymond?
Maybe.
We just talked about they need defense. Maybe they do need Draymond.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we do need Draymond.
Yeah, so let's just use...
I can't... But unfortunately, India did not qualify for the Olympics.
You can root for whatever team you want to in international competitions, Rohan.
Fair. I'll root for USA and Greece, assuming they qualify.
Me too. Yeah, they have some work ahead of them to qualify. They need to do well at the qualification tournaments that Giannis will also not be a part of. So hopefully Orthanasis. So hopefully Greece can get their full team back and play well at those. So Giannis has a chance to play next summer. So let's just use this as a roster. It's not obviously in stone, but Steph at guard, and then at forward, KD, Jason Tatum, Draymond, LeBron, and then Anthony Davis, we'll just say center. I do think he's more of a center than Jaren Jackson.
Absolutely.
I know he starts at the 4, but Anthony Davis plays center.
He wants to play more center again, more power forward again this year.
Of course he does. I mean, yeah, his bones are made of glass. Hopefully he makes it to the Olympics, but that's a good team. I know I really wanted the continuity. I do hope they bring multiple players from this team as well. I think that is the right way to carry it forward. If you had to pick, who do you think from the current team should make it potentially over some of these other guys or other NBA players who could come in?
Well, one, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
He's a stud. He's absolutely a stud.
I think Mikal has to go.
I think Mikal has to be there as well. Those two are bona fide young stars.
I would bring
more than the Mikal, but still, both are bona fide young star scorers who can be good two-way players.
I was watching one of the games and I tweeted I get why the Nets turned down 4 poo-poo platter draft picks for Mikal. Every team wants Mikal. I think he's been for years, I think, my favorite non-Bucks NBA guy, the one I'd most want to put on the Bucks. I mean, of course, Steph would be great, whatever. But in terms of wanting to root for a guy, I think Mikal would be so fun to have on the team. Anyway, I think Tyrese as the backup point guard makes a lot of sense if you're going to have Steph.
I was gonna say Tyrese Halliburton is another guy I want to keep. Assuming if they bring De'Aaron Fox, and I would rather have. Would you? I mean, is Fox better? He was last year.
Yeah, but this is this year.
This is this year. We'll see. I mean,
Fox is probably a better defender.
We'll give Fox the benefit of the doubt here and say that he's better than Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
But Tyrese really showed a lot during this Team USA run.
Even if Tyrese is your third point guard, it would be good. Fox, I think, is a better, more aggressive defender, and they probably could use that as at the one. Although, I think they should bring back Drew.
They should.
Maybe instead of either guy. I mean, I do think his game translates really well to FIBA. I think he played well, and he had a big role on the last Olympics team. Or I shouldn't say FIBA Olympics. I think it's different. But
it's a FIBA sanction.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I do think they should bring Drew back, and he's a better perimeter defender than either of those guys by far. And then if it's Fox or Tyrese for that third spot. But yeah, I think Ant and Mikal really should go. A lot of the rest, I mean, I love Bobby Portis. If American bigs are kind of a question mark, the big question for the Olympics is really going to be, who does Joel Embiid suit up for?
Yeah, I mean, he was wasn't there reporting that he was trying to get his French citizenship?
There was, but USA is trying to woo him.
I mean, if the U.S. gets Embiid, it's over.
Maybe.
I think so.
I thought it was over with this roster, and
that's fair. But it's you have literally the reigning MVP.
Okay.
Listen, do I think he deserved that MVP? No. Do I think he's a top 10 player in the league? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he's a top player in the world who fills a position of need.
He does fill a position. I do wonder if he's going to be too slow for FIBA.
No, they had look at what Jonas Valanciunas was doing out there.
Yeah, he's got a lot more experience.
Daniel Tice.
Tice was moving. Tice was moving.
Yeah, Joel Embiid doesn't have any international experience really.
Yeah, those guys have been playing that game for a very long time. I think he makes a big difference. I think he'll be good, and they could just use more centers. But
especially where he can just plant himself at the rim.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Embiid would be amazing.
I think he'll be good. I mean, I think France needs him more with how Gobert played in the FIBA World Cup. Minnesota, highs and lows watching FIBA between France, and then, of course, Team USA was the highs. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker looked pretty good for Canada, too.
Yeah, Shea's cousin. Crazy.
Oh,
yeah. They had both of them on the same team. That's crazy.
That is fun.
I think Embiid is if you can get Embiid, you're set.
Yeah.
Assuming he stays healthy, you're set. You have that dominant big man now, because that's what the USA has been missing. They don't have a dominant big man. They have good guards. They have a few good wings. but they don't have any dominant big men. Like, sorry, Bobby, sorry, Walker Kessler, and no sorry at all to Jaren Jackson Jr. because you stole a Defensive Player of the Year award away from Brook Lopez. Maybe bring Brook back.
Did they have? I think he's going to be too old. Did they have Dwight in 08 and 12?
I think so. I'll double check.
Probably. Or maybe it was too young for 08. But, I mean, that's the kind of – they could really use – like that athletic of an offensive center, offensive and defensive and rebounding. Like they pretty much have not had a great version of that since. I think Anthony Davis would be good, but he's still not that. And there's just not that many of those guys, I guess, around anymore.
They did have Dwight in 08. They did not have him in 12, though.
Who'd they have at center? Do you have the roster?
Tyson Chandler.
Oh.
And they had young Anthony Davis after he just graduated from college or left college. But those are the only bigs on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, getting back to the rest of the group, shouldn't matter as much. Again, like I think Serbia will be even better, and they were a finalist team this year. I think Germany will still be very good. Canada should be better. But, I mean, if you are rolling out Steph, KD, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, I mean, you should just be able to overwhelm. But again, that was true of this year's team. Like, again, I don't want to sound like I'm, going crazy. Like, I think they'll get gold with that team. I don't think they'll walk to it, though. Not anymore.
No, they won't walk to it. And one thing we need to recognize, like comparing these rosters, like I'm looking at this 2012 roster, the world is so much more deep and talented.
Well, yeah, because it used to be USA would have like 4 or 5 of the 5 best players in the world, and they cannot anymore.
They don't have the top 4, potentially.
Steph, the only one in the top 5?
Yeah.
And this is next summer we're talking about Steph, so he'll be...
And maybe Embiid.
No, I don't think we need to... I don't think that matters.
So who's your top 4 then?
Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Steph. Maybe they'll have Tatum. I don't think I'll be putting Embiid there next year.
That's fair.
Maybe
That's
Shea.
fair.
They won't have Shea. Shea might be there.
Shea's top 10.
Yeah. I mean, KD is still there.
The top. I don't know about that one.
Would you rather have KD or Joel Embiid in any basketball form, any basketball format? Win a game, win a season, or on your franchise.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Embiid.
Really?
Yeah. What's KD done the last 5 years?
He averages like 36 and 6 every playoffs.
So does Embiid.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He sure doesn't.
It does go down.
He plays in 60% of the games and averages 18 and 10 on bad efficiency in the ones he plays.
Yeah, it's somehow the same result for both players.
Well, KD's had a couple better runs. KD's seen the third round.
Not recently.
Has Embiid seen it recently?
No, that's what I'm saying. Neither of them have seen it recently, so I'll take the younger guy.
Okay, the younger guy with older legs.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's up for debate.
I think KD's been through some stuff.
Older feet. I'll give you legs.
His legs have gone through some stuff.
Yeah, same height, 100 pounds difference on those feet.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. I just hovered over. I'm on this roster. I'm on Wikipedia. My mouse hovered over Jerry Colangelo, and the picture is just staring at me, and it's like, ugh.
Wikipedia pictures are great.
But I think one guy we haven't talked about a lot about, and you just mentioned him, is Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum is, like I said, Embiid is one guy they need to get. Jason Tatum is a guy that Grant Hill needs to get for Team USA.
Yeah.
If you want a two-way dominant wing, it's Tatum. It's absolutely Tatum who's American, who's going to play for Team USA.
Yeah, it sounds like he is.
It's Jason Tatum. Like, there's no other player in the league who you would want in this situation more than Tatum. A guy whose game is going to translate to FIBA basketball. A guy who doesn't really rely on physicality. A guy who can get to his own spots with ease.
And he doesn't hog the ball.
No, he plays within the flow.
Yeah,
God, I wish I hated Jason Tatum. He's so likable.
He's got to be up there on like the most plug-and-play two-way players in the league. For how much of a star he is, you could easily see him fitting on pretty much any team.
Yeah, because he has that skill set where he can play within the flow of an offense. He can play as a secondary creator. but he can also play as a primary. He can create his own shot. He can do whatever you need him to do.
I think they should put Book back on the second list of guys. Not the same defender, but offensively, I think you could always use a Booker.
You could always use a Booker.
More of a point guard role this year, probably with Phoenix. We'll see how that goes, but played well for the last Olympics teams. You can leave Dame home.
Yeah, that's fine. You have enough guards. I mean, Drew already stole his role in the last Olympics. So.
Yeah, I think that should just happen from the jump. Kyrie, I don't know.
You have enough guards.
Yeah.
You want Kyrie Irving representing your country?
What do you get? 12 spots, I think.
Yes.
So LeBron, Steph, KD, Anthony Davis, Tatum, Draymond is 7. So then Booker, Fox would be 9. If we want to say Mikhail, Ant, that would be 11. We're down to 1, and we still need another center. So
Bobby Portis.
Team USA's Bobby Portis. I thought he played well.
Yeah, He did what he needed to do. Like we say Bobby Portis because we are a Bucks podcast.
Yeah.
But like, what else could you have wanted from him? Like he did exactly what was asked for him in his role. Like he was a good guy off the bench, provided energy, got some buckets, rebounded the ball.
Didn't have a whiny story about how he wasn't getting enough touches or shots or whatever.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram fell down my Bucks targets list a little bit. Maybe it's good. Kind of dampen the value a little. That's not bad, but long game.
I was gonna ask you, like, how does this make you feel about Brandon Ingram?
The quotes weren't really that bad, but I didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought his game would really adjust well to the format, and I was really surprised it didn't.
Yeah, it was a tough showing for Brandon Ingram.
You just think like 6'10" guy with a bit of a handle should just dominate, and that's kind of what we see. Obviously, they're much different players, but that's kind of what we see with KD, right? Like just, I can just shoot over whatever 6'7" wing player you have pretty easily. Ingram just never looked comfortable out there. I didn't really understand it, to be honest. It was disappointing for sure. Do you think it's cool that LeBron is going, despite being like 50 years old by then?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I really do. Yeah, I think it is cool. My guy saw Dylan Brooks drop 39. He was like, I can't. He's like, we can't deal with this anymore.
Avengers. He saw Andreas Ope score 24. He said, no, we're doing the Avengers. I may hate Stephen Curry, but I need him right now.
He put on his eye patch. He became Nick Fury, and he's assembling the Avengers.
I don't know who's older. I don't know who's older canonically, LeBron now or Nick Fury when the Avengers took place.
I don't know. It's close. Like, it's incredible.
Some Marvel dudes are going to be in the comments of the YouTube like, Nick Fury was alive for World War II, blah, blah, blah. Like, no one cares.
Yeah. It's Nick Fury. He was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's me. I'm a nerd.
Well, actually,
he wasn't alive during World War II. But
do you actually know this?
I think so.
I'm going to pull it up. He could have been frozen.
No.
Off-season pod.
No, because he was not alive in World War II. It's now. We are doing the opposite.
He was born in 1950 on July 4th.
Of course he was.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, it's incredible. Like, honestly, I love to see it that LeBron wants to do this. Like, I commend him for this. He's like, yeah, we need to. I mean, honestly, ever since he stopped playing for the team, they kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Like, he's not anymore, but for a long time, he was the best player in the world for, like, a long time.
Yeah.
And he showcased that. Like, his game translated at the absolute highest levels of both the NBA and international competition. So he has the experience. He's like a 3-time gold medalist, I think? Or 2-time gold medalist? Something like that.
I would think 3, because he went in 16, didn't he? Yeah.
He is
I thought
why isn't it showing up?
I would think 8, 12, 16. I thought he went in 16, unless I'm wrong.
It's not on his just. Oh wait, no. He is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist.
Oh, he did not go in 16.
No, he did not go in 16. That was the Jimmy Butler, DeAndre
Clay,
Jordan.
Kyrie, Paul George.
He was part of the bronze team in Athens, and then the Redeem team.
So I wonder if they would consider dusting off Carmelo.
They will not.
He's just too old, but
yeah, he was there. They could have used him.
Oh, no. Yeah, Team USA Melo was really a different animal.
You know who's Team USA Melo now? Who's going to be?
KD.
I was gonna say Tatum would.
Well, he's a lot. I think KD's closer now. Tatum could be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the closest to replicate it. Yeah, obviously KD is closer now, but I don't know. I think Tatum could take that and fill that role.
Yeah.
Him or Booker, I think, or Ant.
Ant's got to win one.
Ant does that. I mean, so does Tatum. So does KD's one. But
yeah. So KD was pretty much the best player on the 2020 team. So I think he has to be there. Sad that Chris and Brooke probably won't be back. Well, Brooke wasn't on that team. Brooke was on the failed FIBA team. That was a pop disaster class.
That really was.
They were playing Harrison Barnes at center.
It was. I mean, I'll always be a fan of Harrison Barnes, but come to the Bucks. I mean, he can't anymore because of the extension. But
yeah, this is like this 2020 roster. They won gold because of like KD and stuff. This is like a hideous roster. I did not remember some of the. Can I name you some guys that?
No, remember? Didn't we do like a fantasy draft or something?
Yeah, I think we did.
With Kevin Wayne Durant. I made sure.
Kevin Wayne. Yep. JaVale McGee. Center depth been an issue for a while. Technically the second center on the squad behind Bam. They should bring Bam back. I think Bam is good. Bam is a guy I was not thinking of, but I talk about an athletic defensive center who I think they should definitely bring Bam back. Zach LaVine was on this team for some reason.
Not bad.
No, but weird. Here's the good one though. Keldon Johnson.
I forgot about Keldon.
Pop. Come on.
Yeah, it's purely because Pop was coaching the team. I mean, nothing against Keldon Johnson. Like he's
a 6'5" power forward. Get out of here.
You're a fine player, Keldon, but like, no.
And Jeremy Grant snuck in here because he was facading as an all-star with Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Again, not terrible.
No, like a Harrison Barnes kind of player, but you probably could.
He's better than Harrison Barnes. Yes, tie.
It's scoring.
Tie.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, probably. I like what Harrison Barnes brings to a team.
You were just making fun of Harrison Barnes.
Well, yeah, he's not a superstar, but neither is Jeremy Grant.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
Regardless, no, that's pretty much that's all the really funny ones.
I forgot JaVale was on that team.
There's like a section of earlier candidates that's pretty funny too. MCW was on it for 2016, which is great. LaMarcus Aldridge for the Nets is on this one for 2020, and there's a reason for removed. And it's retired, which is never great. It's like either going to play for Team USA or retire. And then a bunch of other guys were either injured or withdrew, including LeBron and Steph.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think one guy we're also not talking about a ton is Steph.
Yeah.
Steph, like, they could use a Steph.
They could.
Team USA could use this stuff, like dynamic, like nothing against Jalen Brunson, but Steph's such a higher level.
Yeah,
it's such a higher like if you want the things that Jalen Brunson does, but you want them done at an elite level, you get Steph, and there's not much else to it.
And I think the big difference is the floor gets so cramped in FIBA sometimes, and having a guy who can just ignore it all and just take the whole top off the half court. Like Steph can is really valuable.
The gravity is necessary. If you want to create some of that spacing, you need a guy like Steph who's going to command not just one, but two defenders at all times.
Yeah. It's going to be a big deal. You
combine that with like a slasher like LeBron, a spot-up guy like KD, who's like KD is going to be just standing in the corner.
Yeah. Well, probably at the elbow a lot too,
but still, like you have so many, like it's choose your own like depth. When you have guys like Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., this version of Brandon Ingram, you can game plan against that because like these aren't super duper stars.
Yeah.
The guys they want to bring are super duper stars.
Yeah, I do. They definitely need to bring a bunch of young players in addition to the one that they apparently already. I mean, Tatum is young, but I worry they'll run into the Bucks issue of just being old if they don't bring like. You definitely need Ant and Mikal, I think. Like maybe Tyrese, that guard spot might get crowded.
Maybe you keep Walker Kessler.
Yeah, I don't think it's a horrible idea.
If you want to just like have a center of the future, because and going through these rosters, like the U.S. has no big man.
I'd rather have. I mean, if you get Embiid, then you're set, as you said. But if you don't, then yeah, I think you can do a lot worse. I mean, that's better than JaVale. Like Walker Kessler, we kind of joked, and he didn't play a bunch, but he's a very good big defensive center, and I think just having him around as that guy, like, oh, we need a big guy in this game. Go ahead, Walker Kessler. That's a good thing to have.
Replace this 3-time defensive player of the year. He's like, okay,
yeah, cool.
Like
I'll just do it as good.
Yeah, and better than that player.
Yeah,
that season, and at FIBA.
Oh yeah, I think he played better in FIBA. Gobert was horrible.
Gobert was.
The Wolves just like. What were you doing? I thought that trade was going to kind of work for them too. It definitely did not.
But yeah, if you want to just like keep Walker Kessler on the team, is sort of like, just sort of like keeping him there, sort of like teaching him the ways, like having him be built up. Like, yeah, if you want to have him as your third young guy, I wouldn't be that upset about it.
I do think there's probably very little chance Bobby comes back for this team.
Unfortunately,
I mean, there's just so much skill set overlap between him and all these other guys, right? Like not comparing Bobby to like Kevin Durant, but you have enough guys who can score everywhere on the court. I think we can make
that comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of the best American 6'10" or taller basketball players in the world.
Yeah. It's like that clip of Ant. He's like, they may have KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels. I love that video so much.
Ant is kind of earning it. It's still a little overblown. I think some of the Ant stuff. He looks very good. Is he maybe top 10 this year? I think probably not yet.
He has a chance.
I don't think he's going to be there.
I think that's more saying like the level of talent in the NBA though than an indictment on Ant.
But some of the Ant and Jaden McDaniels stuff that's been like.
Oh my God! Best duos in the oh my God! Like Jaden McDaniels is like
new Jordan and Pippen. Like, what are we doing?
Like, what do we like? It's Jaden McDaniels. Like, fine, he's good. He's a good young player. Like, would I want Jaden McDaniels on the Bucks? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love Jaden McDaniels. Would I think Jaden McDaniels could be the second best player on a title team? No.
Would he be what? Like the fifth best player on the Bucks? Probably.
Yeah.
I think he's closer to 6 than 4.
Maybe 4.
I don't know about that. And if Brook falls off, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. If Brook falls off, he's 4.
I'm not betting against Brookie Cookie. He's going to get another back surgery, play till he's 40.
Please don't get
another back surgery. Yeah.
we need you, bro.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, it's like it's so overblown with Jaden.
I agree. Yeah, it'll be fun to see how this roster gets put together. I hope Drew gets to go. That's probably the best chance the Bucks have. Like, I don't think Chris is going to be back. I don't think Brook will be back. I mean, obviously, if Greece qualifies, if Greece doesn't qualify, there could be no Bucks in the Olympics. That'd be pretty sad.
That would be kind of sad.
Is there anyone else who would have a shot for another? I'm not forgetting any.
I mean, Drew.
No, for other countries besides Greece or USA. I don't think. Are we out of other international players?
I mean, we do have other international players, but none that really play for the national teams.
Because Pat won't do Ireland.
No, Pat won't do Ireland.
Ireland's not going to be in the Olympics.
Yeah, I fear.
That might be it. That is it.
Yeah.
It's all Americans and the 2 Greeks now.
That's crazy.
I guess they're not showing him here. Lindell would probably be Canadian. Lindell is Canadian, so I assume he could play. I don't think he ever has, and their roster seems pretty full now. So,
I mean, when it's unfortunate for Lindell when you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
They have so many guards. They have so many guards. I mean, there's a lot of countries who could like really use Canada's like third or fourth best guard.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and
especially if Jamal Murray shows up.
Yeah. One thing we didn't really talk about in the Canada-USA game is the U.S. did not have the best player.
No. Shai is really that's why I'm not mad at the Ant hype. I think he deserves it. And the stuff about he's too big for Minnesota, it's just he's not that big, one. So let's relax.
And also, like,
stupid
need to do that.
Concept. Like, yeah. But Shai should be talked about even more. Because Shai is just holy.
Shai is better than Ant.
He was looking like Luka level to me. I know that's going to be controversial. He looks like that kind of a player to me right now. I think OKC might be a problem this year. I know obviously everyone says, "Oh, going forward, they have all whatever." I think
they didn't make a ton of free agent signings, but like
no, but if Chet can play even a bit, like
they're good.
He should probably be Rookie of the Year favorite. I think.
I'd say so.
I mean, obviously, Wembanyama hype is crazy. He's probably going to look good year one. But we've seen before with Ben Simmons and with Blake Griffin, like that second year rookie thing. Like you learn the ropes year one. You get probably a little stronger physically, even though you're limited. He had the foot thing. I think Chet will look pretty good, and then their team is just loaded. Mm-hmm. Shai, J-Dub, Giddey, Chet, Lou Dort, like those kind of guys. Like whoa.
They're gearing up for. I think like I agree with you. I think they're going to be a good team this season.
I think Shai could be top 5 this year.
I mean, he's already made first team All NBA.
It's not that crazy. Well, top 5 is crowded.
Top 5 is crowded, but he could be.
I think he could be right there. I mean, the guy's putting up like 30, 10 in 6 games right now. And anyone who says, "Oh, it's FIBA, it's easy," no American was doing that.
He was also doing that in the NBA.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not like he's never done it there either. But he just, every time I see anything about Shai, I'm just so impressed. So fluid for his size.
So good. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, I think Canada has got to be feeling good for the Olympics.
They have to be, right? Like, you obviously lose to Serbia in the semifinals, and it's like, You want the chance to compete for a gold medal, but it's like, you've never gotten this far on the men's side. Let's
do stocks for like for countries at the FIBA World Cup, like just
USA
generally
down.
Yeah, we'll just do up or down. We don't have to do a number. USA down for sure. Canada up. Germany up. Serbia is the team. I'm not a betting person. You should not take any betting or financial advice from me. This team just took second at FIBA, and they're going to add the consensus current best player in the world to the roster. And it's not like, does he fit? He fits with that team. They're used to playing with him.
We've seen it.
I like Serbia's chances in the Olympics. I think they're due, as you mentioned earlier, they've been second place a bunch. I think they're kind of due.
The last 5 competitions, like FIBA and Olympics, they all come second.
I think they have surpassed like the France and Spain kind of countries. Like certainly they're way above like in Australia, who everyone's always like, the Australian team is fun. And they really Australia down. They did not perform well at this tournament at all.
No, Australia down for sure. Especially when you have guys like Josh. I mean, maybe Ben Simmons plays.
Does that help?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
The 6 minutes fouls?
Come on.
Does what?
I mean, yeah.
Has he ever played FIBA? Anything?
No.
A shorter 3-point line for him to ignore. That's great.
No, but have you seen those off-season workout videos?
He's going to come back and dominate. Listen. When a guy's playing
a lot of talking.
When a guy's playing 2-on-2 in September only, he's ready for the NBA and Olympic season coming up. Did you see that from that story?
Yeah, I did.
That was like I was listening to the Hoop Collective, and they were like, "Ignore all the stuff he said. He's only playing 2-on-2s right now. The season starts in 2 months. Less, month and a half.
I mean, then at that point, but 2 months at that point. But now it's less. Like that's It's crazy.
Thank God we're running out of stuff. Thank God for FIBA. We're running out of stuff, man.
Next week's going to be tough.
Well, we'll have to do our previews, our division previews, talk about other teams.
Oh, yeah.
True. We haven't done that yet. So we still have that in the back pocket. Maybe some other fun stuff too. TBD.
Eye emojis.
Yeah, eye emojis. I don't. Ben Simmons is not a factor for me in NBA or international competitions anymore. I got to see him do something.
That's very valid.
But no, I'm kind of low on them because I think their old guard is aging out, and I think their young players are flashy. I don't know if they have enough around the board, to replace Patty Mills, Joe Ingles. The center I always forget who they didn't have and it really cost them.
Lando?
Yeah. No. I thought they had another. They someone else that they lost to. I'm forgetting now.
I don't know.
I mean, Bogut's been gone, of course.
Bogut's been gone. Yeah.
They're missing some of those guys. Serbia, Germany up. I mean, they won. We haven't talked much. Germany really positioned.
We just hate Germany.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of sad and conflicting for me, but they have a team that's built to be competitive for quite a while too. Schroeder's not old. Franz is very young and probably their best overall player, although Schroeder was really incredible at this tournament.
Yeah.
And Obst is 27.
Yeah, he's still in his physical prime. Obst.
He can play, man. Obst. He should come to the Midwest. Obst. Just going to hit a three over you.
Oh, man. He would dominate the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, that's exactly the team out. Buddy Hield goes and Obst is in.
They'd love him there.
Yeah. But I think Germany's got to be way up. I mean, they
won for the first time ever. So
and they finished well at the Eurobasket too. I remember they knocked off Greece, excuse me.
They did.
So they've had a couple strong finishes.
Dennis Schroeder got an NBA deal because of how he was playing internationally.
He already had one this year, but if he might have gotten an MLE after this tournament. Dennis Schroeder for Greece he's up there with the Patty Mills for Australia.
Germany.
For Germany, excuse me. He's up there with Patty Mills for Australia and some of these other guys at this point.
Yeah, it's
Patty Mills was still good, by the way, in this tournament, which is kind of funny. He's just
crazy. Patty Mills still in the NBA. He got traded 3 times, but he's still.
Where is he now? Do you know?
Atlanta? I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't think he'll look good in red.
I don't know if he's going to play.
Was that Patty 2 years ago we really wanted him?
Yeah, he is on the Atlanta Hawks.
Nice ball.
But, what other countries can we do stocks? Greece?
I would say no change. Maybe slight up.
Slight up, because it's they played well without Giannis.
Yeah. Travis Walkup looked good.
Walkup looked good.
Eugene said they there's a way they could naturalize or something, one of Walkup or Dorsey, and then have both. That would be a big deal. It sounds like minor players on most other stages they are, but if they had Walkup, Dorsey, Giannis in the same lineup, that's a much they need. And Slukas, they suddenly it's okay now, and I'd say Papagiannis actually was very impressive in this tournament too. Thanasis
the unfortunate
struggled.
He had his moments.
He did.
Let's move on. The unfortunate thing is that Giannis and Papagiannis don't really work well together.
No, but even if you stagger them a bit, it's still nice to have that big depth.
Yeah.
I mean, the way Papagiannis shot, maybe they could figure it out for the Olympics. Papagiannis was really shooting well in this tournament.
Yeah, that's fair.
You do some more inverted stuff. He really, potential future Buck, almost former Buck, Yorgos Papagiannis. Almost. Really played well. Yeah, I feel okay about Greece long term. I think they
made it to the second round when they were in a group with USA.
Yeah. New Zealand had some good matches and they managed to get out. Did they win after that? I don't know if they did. I don't think so because the next round was pretty tough because they had to play Montenegro and Lithuania. Let me pull it up. But without Giannis and Slukas, we didn't expect much. What I'm thinking of is they played Montenegro really close. Yeah. 69-73. They weren't going to make it to the next round either way, I don't believe, but they got beat pretty handily by a good Lithuania team that also beat Team USA. So Walkup was 12 points and 7 assists per game. Papa Petru, who I also think is kind of younger, led them in scoring. Papagiannis rebounding. Lutzis played pretty well. Oh, no, Papa Petru's 29. But yeah, I think if they get Slukas and Giannis back and they can also have Dorsey and Walkup, they could have a good tournament. They're going to be underdogs to win it all. I think they will be very competitive, though.
They will be competitive for sure. And it's like, at the end of the day, Giannis makes them competitive.
Yeah. Well, even though they have slightly underachieved with Giannis overall.
Yes. But you have one of the best players in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they have these better guards around him, they'll be a lot more suited to win with Giannis.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
So we will see. But yeah, I guess Giannis is probably our best hope of seeing a buck in the Olympics if Greece can qualify. Otherwise, maybe Drew.
I was going to say it goes Giannis, then Drew.
I guess Giannis tied with Thanasis technically.
I was going to say, like, where's Thanasis in there? I think
they're a package deal.
They are. No. Yeah, those two, then Drew, then Bobby.
Yeah, maybe like randomly Chris in there. Who knows?
Lindell?
No, I don't think so. Love Lindell, but I would imagine Canada has more guards, not less guards, besides Lindell for the next. I think they're going to have Jamal Murray. So
LeBron, when he comes to the Bucks this season, because he's trade eligible?
That would be fun.
Well, LeBron on Team USA or LeBron to the Bucks?
I would take him on the Bucks more. I don't care that much about Team USA, so it's fun to follow them, but
it's fun to watch the Olympics. But I'd love to see LeBron invested. And Giannis win 5 titles in a row.
Yeah, LeBron can take the year off because he's focused on his Bucks season. That's fine.
Can you imagine the outrage if he's like, I'm too focused on the Milwaukee Bucks to play in the Olympics?
I would. I don't even know.
I'd get a tattoo of LeBron.
I would build a shrine back here.
I'd get a tattoo.
I would pray to it on pod. And I'm sure that's sacrilegious to several religions, but it's worth it. It's worth
it's your
damnation.
Own it's a new religion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not new. It's not new.
That's fair.
I think people have worshipped Braun for a long 20 years now.
That's fair. Just look on XSuckham.
Okay. On that note,
what's wrong with that?
You know.
I swear it's fine. Like there's a lot of accounts.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
There's a lot of accounts, indeed, Rohan.
On that note,
yep.
I hate that.
Come on, why did Elon do this to us?
Yeah, it's Elon's fault. It's not mine.
It's Elon's fault. I agree.
Yeah. Did we miss any countries for stocks, or do we have any other final notes here?
I don't know if anyone's. I mean, Lithuania up. I think they played well. Latvia without Porzingis really pushed. They played well. Montenegro played really well. I wish we could give old friend Mamu a stock, but I think Georgia. Mamu played pretty excitingly, but Georgia's just kind of outclassed, which is just probably how it's going to be for them. But Mamu continues to play well. The Philippines had a pretty fun showing. The home nation, one of the home nations.
Japan had a nice showing. They had that massive comeback.
They are kind of building a nice team over there.
Yeah.
They need to round it out, but they have some nice wing players. They could use some more guards and bigs, but I like what Japan is doing on the international stage. Yeah, it's always fun. It always sucks. Like, did China host the last Olympics?
Yeah.
And like the Olympics are different, but like it's always kind of sad when the host nation just gets like totally blitzed. I don't know if China won a game or not. I would imagine not more than one, if any, at the Olympics. But again, that's the Olympics. Like obviously they had other sports going for them. But I was glad to see the Philippines and Japan have some nice moments at least, even though it
was in Tokyo. It was in Tokyo.
Oh, it was in Tokyo.
2020. Yeah.
Oh, it was Beijing 18?
Oh,
or 16?
Beijing was 08.
How old am I?
2012 was London.
Oh yeah.
2008 was Beijing.
Well, never mind then.
And 16 was Rio.
Oh yeah.
20 was Tokyo.
Brazil! Didn't Brazil have a low key nice tournament?
They did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did they?
I think they did.
Let's check.
I don't know if they won a bunch. I think it was like Japan, one of those where, I think they beat somebody that surprised people. I mean, at the cost of France and Spain, who had bad tournaments, I think some of these teams had really fun tournaments.
Brazil did make it to the second round.
Yes, they beat Canada.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
They ended 3-2 at the tournament, so they had a good result.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah. They got pretty smoked by Latvia, but yeah, Brazil they beat Cote d'Ivoire and I think Iran. But then also Canada, so that one really counts.
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through Slovenia?
I would say no change because it's just still the same deal. It's maybe temper tantrum, Luka, and a bunch of guys who actually I thought their supporting cast played better than I expected, and Luka kind of let them down against Canada.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, he's so busy crying and whining. Like these guys around him are nailing threes in people's faces, and he's not back on defense, and then eventually getting kicked out of the game.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I love FIBA officiating still up. I know people complain with some calls and ending the games, but the flow of the game and the way the refs call it overall, I think is a big up.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Bruno Caboclo had 19 to lead Brazil in that Canada win, by the way. He's here.
Crazy.
He's here.
He's crazy. Giannis is gunning for him still.
Yeah.
That's one of the funniest things that has ever happened.
I love it.
If you guys are unfamiliar, it's when Giannis dunked on him when he was on the Grizzlies and started just chasing him down the court, yelling at him. He got a technical.
It came from an international competition, right?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. He was like, next time I play him, I had that game circled. And it's like, Jesus, like, oh my God. Just so I could, and he got him.
Well,
he got him.
Did he do something to Giannis or to Thanasis? That would almost make more sense. I don't either. It would make more sense if he did something to Thanasis. Sad news for the Chicago Bulls. Cristiano Felicio picked up 3 minutes for Brazil. Remember they gave him a 4-year contract they gave him?
Is he still on the
No,
Bulls?
I think he's gone now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He couldn't get 3 minutes for Brazil.
It's tough.
Marcelo Huertas played 10.
Oh, legend.
Yeah.
Oh, Lakers legend Marcelo Huertas.
Apparently it's Marcelinho Huertas. But yeah.
God, he's just pulling names. That's from that Lakers era where I'll always remember like Marcelinho Huertas.
Yeah.
Just like there was a shot. There was a play when he was on the Lakers, and the Lakers were getting the second overall pick 3 years in a row. When there was a shot clock, like he had the ball in a late shot clock situation, and like the one thing he knew he could do is he was literally facing the wrong way and chucked a shot behind his head, like over his head, because he was like, "Man, the shot clock's expiring. I got to put a shot up." He tosses it behind his head. It's like that's the state of the Lakers basketball.
Yeah.
Like, anyone can look this up. You can find it. Like it's
X.com.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's always fun. Yeah, Puerto Rico up.
Yeah, they didn't make it to the second round, but still played well. South Sudan up. They qualified for the Olympics.
They made it.
Like,
that's sick.
South Sudan up.
Isn't friend of the pod Wendisch Gabriel? Right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. It's always fun to see the different names players go by internationally versus in the U.S. I have to do a lot of Googling at these tournaments.
Oh, really?
So Raul Neto Tony picked up a DMP for Brazil. It is Raul Neto. So former Cav and a bunch of other teams. So yeah, I think
former like half the league.
I think Mamu, his first name is shown differently.
Alessandro. It's Alessandro.
I know it. I thought it was even shown different though for Georgia in these box scores. Because I always have to double check. Following FIBA takes a lot of research. Oh, I did Georgia box score, and it's giving me.
It went by Alexander.
Yeah.
On FIBA's website.
Yeah, which I was like, I figured. Sandro,
which is the translation, but.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, Alessandro is Alexander.
Got it. Other fun notes around FIBA. Yeah, he had 19 against Germany.
Yeah, good for him. Good for Mama. We're always going to root for Mama over here.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we need to talk about here, or can we wrap this up? Dominican Republic?
Yeah.
I'd say up.
Who had Rondae Hollis Jefferson?
Jordan.
Rondae Hollis Jefferson gets an up. I don't know about Jordan, but
that Rondae Hollis Jefferson gets an up.
That guy was
my
hooping.
Guy. Yeah, he turned as like FIBA, like the FIBA social media account kept calling him Kobe. And it's like, oh, did you not see this?
No, I didn't.
I mean, he also like people. Like I think a reporter asked in the game, like people keep calling you Kobe in this tournament. Like,
I thought you said Toby, and I was like, that's messed up. Kobe, yeah, the Kobe thing is really weird. I was like, let's calm down. Yeah, I read it first on Joe Varden for the Athletic. Somehow he was the guy who got their athletic beat or their FIBA beat, and he's like, the similarities are all over the place. And I was like, no, they're not. They're not. Come on. That similar build and hair. I was like, really?
Really, Joe?
Okay.
Really, Joe?
All right. Yeah.
You want to take that angle, Joe?
I thought it was very odd. I mean, hey, Jordan had someone to cheer for. Jordan Tresky was very happy with Rondae Hollis Jefferson. So
yeah, because that's who they represent, not the actual country of Jordan.
Nope.
Jordan Tresky.
Jordan Tresky.
Can't wait for
Jordan's just sitting courtside, like, let's go, Rondae.
Can't wait for the country of Thai to compete in the Olympics.
I have a whole land.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, I think we've exhausted our talk.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned earlier, we'll have some previews coming your way. Eye emojis for maybe something else coming. Soon. Maybe. Something else coming soon, but. Yeah, I think we're all wrapped up here. Say thank you for listening to this episode of the Gyro Step here on GSPN. Like we mentioned up top, if you want to relish some more and some Packers Bears talk, make sure you check out Talk of the Tundra, our GSPN's Green Bay Packers podcast, to hear all about that as you hear Newmark and Jordan break that down. And also the Brewers. Let's not spend too much time on the Brewers tie because that game yesterday on Sunday, just an absolute stinker.
They should have put a position player on the mound over Andrew Chafin, and Andrew Chafin should never pitch for the Milwaukee Brewers again.
It's crazy that you have a no-hitter through 10 innings and you lose.
That's very Brewers, though.
It's the most Brewers thing possible.
I know they've been hitting a little better recently, but it's very Brewers.
It's like you literally have a no-hitter through 10 innings and you lose. Was it 10 or was it 11?
It might have been like 11.
Yeah, because they lost in the 12th, didn't they?
I think they lost in the 13th, but it was over before then.
Oh, okay.
Because they blew a lead that they had in extras, and then they ended up losing.
Yeah, that's true. So it was either the 10th or the 11th inning that you have a no-hitter until you have Sal Frelick making the absolute game-saving catch of his life. You still lose to the Yankees.
But they won the series. They won the series.
Yes, you win 2 out of 3. But still, if you want to hear more in depth talk about that, listen to Adam and Andrew talk about that on Cruising for Bruising, our Milwaukee Brewers podcast. All of the links are at gspn.info. Make sure you are subscribed wherever you're listening to this on your podcast platform of choice. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review if you're listening on your podcast platform of choice. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. And the aforementioned Talk of the Tundra is on this YouTube channel. But like I said earlier, all links at gspn.info, our Discord link. And make sure you get on the Discord.
Oh, yeah. Got to.
But yeah, gspn.info for all things GSPN. Pod random, and we will talk to you next time.